probably not the best term, fired 210 people in Toronto, Bell Media.
Is that just in Toronto, Dean, or is that across
No, just in Toronto, but just in Toronto. And I'm going to get to you the information because I think it's important. And the reason why I think it's important is because I've been saying some things for many years. Sometimes a little tense, sometimes dickish about the media industry. But today, Bell fired 210 people in a wave of cuts. This is from JSource. I don't know what the fuck JSource is. Cart.ca, which is the name of the actual website. I'm just going to read this to you. After recent cuts, senior executive and senior management levels, Bell Media began making major changes at the local level this week. So far, with unspecified number of jobs cuts happening at local stations in Toronto. 210 positions will be cut in Toronto alone. Notices of mass layoffs have been posted at the Bell Media buildings in Toronto on Queen Street, Channel 9 Court and Agent Court, and Yonge and Egg. Individuals affected will be told today and tomorrow. So let me just kind of
This just in, your cell phone bill's going up.
Let me put this into layman's terms. As we all know, the traditional media industry is mightily just a shit show. You can't find revenue. There's no ad money out there because no one has money. Combine the digital revolution with the pandemic, and traditional media is fucked. Let me just kind of take you through the anxiety of how they've processed just the first two sentences of this report by a guy named Steve Faggi. I think his name is Faggi.
Canceled.
Well, it's how he says his name. Steve Fagui. Faggi. I don't know.
I'm making fun of them.
The world. Is that they put posters up all over the place at Bell saying, hey, the firings are coming in the next couple of days.
They put postings up?
Yes. Did you not hear that part?
No.
Let me read this to you again. 210 positions will be cut in Toronto alone. Notices, meaning posters, pictures, cute memes, maybe some bathroom stall writing. The end is near. Notices of mass layoffs have been posted at the Bell Media buildings in Toronto on Queen Street, Channel 9 Court and Agent Court, and Yonge and Egg. That's where they have their three, like TSN, CTV is up at Channel 9 Court and in Agent Court. Yonge and Egg, I don't know what the fuck's there. Queen is basically Toronto headquarters for Bell. So they told these people, when you're at work and you see, hey, if you see a problem, you own it, like motivational posters. At Bell, they were, it's coming.
Great.
I find those things very motivating.
Yeah. So imagine being one of those 210 people that gets piped over the next couple of days, and you've been looking at these posters all over the place, and then you're putting two and two together going, none of my managers have been speaking to me in the last couple of months. I'm wondering.
Outside of them asking me to put a video out about Bell Let's Talk Day.
What's the least we can do?
Citing further changes to reflect Bell Media's streamlined operating structure and focus on making it easier and more efficient to do business with us at every level, Bell's Media Director of Communications, Mark Shoma, confirmed to Cart.ca that there was a limited number of staff reductions, many of them changes in on-air broadcast roles due to programming decisions by Bell Media brands. So, Locke, you know what I just said there, right?
Yeah.
What they're doing
they're
is
still trying to sign this up as a consolidation piece, right? But it's not.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. Do you think they wanted all of this exposure and that's why they chose Cart.ca? Do you think they wanted everyone to know about the story?
I think they've been trying to keep this under the wraps. I think they're trying to keep this.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be talking about
Who can we go for minimum exposure? I got it.
I think Cart.ca. No, Cart.ca is like it's an industry digital property, right? And so it was heavy radio, heavy TV, which is why it's Cart. If you worked in radio, you know what a Cart is. It's like a little 8-track you used to use to play music. Depending on how long you've been in radio.
We had commercials on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would put your carts, stack them up before your show.
Stack them all up. Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you still have a thought going? Because I have one that I want to just share really quickly.
I would like
I
to
do.
hear James' thought on
I
this.
don't know if we'll go through our thought process, but I do want to say this. I am very sorry to all the people who have been negatively affected by the layoffs at Bell today. I am. It bothers me. It never used to. I used to go, fuck them. And it bothers me because there's a human toll here, especially right now. So I also will say this. They will be taken care of to a point, depending on each individual situation. So what happens with big media companies, they've got a bunch of money called under the line money. So they will take money that doesn't come off their top line. They've got this bankroll for stuff like this. And those people will get paid. I know lots of, yeah, they do. It's a fuck you fund for employees. Harsh way to say it. And I also know the state that media is in, and this is fucking completely unavoidable in traditional media. It totally is. So I don't blame them. However, to do it a week, less than a week after Bell Let's Talk, knowing this is in the pipeline, and for the past week promoting Bell Let's Talk, spending millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars to promote Bell Let's Talk, which is a wonderful awareness concept. And then to put up those posters telling everybody, watch out, because next week the fucking call is coming, I find that to be really fucking tasteless. James, over to you.
Well, I agree with everything except blaming them. I blame them. I think, first of all, just really quick, don't they profit from Bell Let's Talk, really, at the end of the day? Isn't part of what they
I can't speak to
the
that.
tax write-off and the other part of like all of the branding and exposure in the media?
Brand awareness.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's those are phantom numbers. It's hard to quantify. But the one thing I will say is that we just saw Nathaniel Erskine Smith, who's the federal Liberal MP out of the Beaches in Toronto, grill. I forget who it was, but it was a Bell CEO or it was a Bell executive. And he was talking about how in the fourth quarter report that they showed their shareholders, they showed liquidity at $5.2 billion. And which means that if they wanted to pay these workers or find a way to sort of make it not happen during a pandemic, they had the liquidity to do so. And just quickly, the $122 million that they got in welfare subsidy from the government to subsidize their workforce, because apparently they can't afford it, would have paid like the people that they laid off 210 people. They could have used that 122 million and employed those people for 11 years. If we wanted,
what did they use the money for, James?
Well, listen, they could use it for transitionary purposes because it's all going to be digital and web based. So why don't they just move only in that direction? Like they're really slow getting out of the gate. They don't know how Leave It to Beaver they look right now. I don't think, as far as the industry goes, as far as like television goes, I think they're behind the times. I just do. I think HBO is the wave of the future, that kind of TV. I don't think that we can sit and watch ads every 10 minutes anymore. I don't think as human beings we're designed in a certain way, and we've been conditioned with the internet to not have to put up with that. And that might be a problem, but in the long run, but I think they're slow off the gate. But in the end, they're a mafia from top to bottom, that company, as far as I'm concerned. The way that they've gouged rural, that's another thing. They canceled their they were going to blanket rural Ontario finally with broadband coverage for 200,000 houses or something, and they canceled that as well. So
I think what you're referring to, and this is always the interesting part of these layoffs when it comes to big media, specifically in Canada, is who gets the money? Where's the money? Who's getting paid while people are getting fired? And the answer is in, something that a group from Tech Savvy, which is, they've been fucking ruthless with Bell, where they reported on that $122 million kind of bailout package from the government, which they used to pay out dividends to shareholders. So if you're wondering where that money went, allegedly that's where it went. Not allegedly, it's a fact. So you combine $5.2 billion in liquidity with $122 million payout, you have to sort of remember that this company has to retool for the future. And I'm not giving Bell excuses, because I find how they did it to be inhuman to some extent. I find letting go 210 individuals with families, children, in a time when we're going through the greatest health crisis in the history of this country, maybe the world. The week after you put all your chips on the table to be able to help people with their mental issues, I'm almost grossed out by the sequence of events that led to, the natural change in order when it comes to media, which is
I have
happening.
a question.
I've said this for years. It's going to get worse. This is not the least of it.